Okay, they have this machine here that, like, just knows who you are. Look, it pulls up your picture right here. You wear a hat, you wear the mask, everything, it still knows it's you. Alright, let's see if we can trick the machine. Oh, get me! How does it know?
It knows more than that, Jimmy. It knows what you Google when you think no one is around, and it's coming to the United States unless we stand up for our rights. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. My name's Luke Radowski here of wearechange.org. And man, oh man, do we have some absolutely crazy news to get into today, especially when it comes to the larger urban decay almost everywhere all around us. This says the tax man's going to be going around and round just like the rats in New York City. There's more metaphors there that I could make there, but the main focus of today's video will be focusing on what's happening with Elon Musk at Twitter and the larger major attacks being made against him right now that are definitely noteworthy, to say the least. We're going to be talking about that, plus a lot more. If you liked the shirt that I had to censor somewhat for this broadcast, you could get it and actually see what it says on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. And the clip that we played in the beginning of this broadcast looks like it came out a few years ago, especially at the Chinese Winter Olympics, from a lot of the American athletes that were shocked at the AI dystopian Big Brother totalitarian social credit score that is being enforced with the latest technology provided by many Western countries that was watching every one of their moves, even when they were masked and had a hat on. And in related creepy dystopian news, there's also a lot of very weird circumstances when it comes to crypto billionaires, where in the span of this past month, 3 of them have died under very mysterious circumstances, one of which was talking about the CIA and Mossad running a blackmail extortion operation inside of the Caribbean. But is this connected to the larger FTX scandal? Well, who knows what's really going on here. As of course, we just now have very mysterious circumstances that we could just point to. And in unrelated big money news, today we found out that the Trump Organization was found guilty on 14 counts of alleged tax fraud, as they were previously accused of devaluing their previous properties in order to have a lesser tax liability on them. This, as Trump's organization is expected to face a fine up to $1.6 million. And of course, we need to pay the tax man in order to make sure that the government keeps peace throughout history, like they have been doing so effectively within the last few decades. And your tax dollars are definitely well spent, especially in places like New York City, with visuals like this, or this being people's daily occurrence, being in one of the highest tax places in almost all of the world, with your money, of course, going to some of the biggest bloated police departments on record that have more police officers than a lot of other countries have soldiers in their armies, who, of course, are doing a very fine job in New York City. Your tax dollars are also going a very long way in California, another jurisdiction with a very high tax rate, where we have scenes like this unfolding almost every single day. And no, these are not Black Friday sales. This, as the governor there has just created a reparations committee that will be recommending $250,000 to be given out per person to, quote, all descendants of slaves in California, even though California was not a slave state, and even though many Black Americans aren't related to the slave trade at all. This, as the state is expected to spend $559 billion in what is being deemed the nation's biggest restitution effort ever. And just when you thought governments couldn't get any crazier, in the United Kingdom, a local town is planning on stopping people from using cars to travel between neighborhoods, all in the name of fighting the climate. Yes, in pushing the World Economic Forum Great Reset policies, the town of Canterbury in the United Kingdom is proposing a division of its city into 5 districts that will fine people for driving within them. Yes, you heard that correctly. This is essentially a draconian ban on free movement, all in the name of green energy policies that are absolutely nonsensical and essentially spell out the larger totalitarian control of your life and society. And let's be honest here, if there's one thing that government is good at, it's implementing that. But there's actually some pushback on it, which I want to describe specifically on LukeUncensored.com, our very own website where we get to say and do what we want, because we are building our own infrastructure. This is our own platform. This is our own social media platform where you get to talk to other members, and by being a member, help sustain and grow this independent media operation. The topic that I want to get into today is a bit spicy, to say the least, and I'm going to be discussing the larger issues in those contexts in a brand new video that is available for you right now if you are a member of LukeUncensored.com. It's just 50 cents a day, and you get many other perks and things by just simply being a member of LukeUncensored.com. We're currently doing a major giveaway right now in the making of this video. That's not too late for you to enter through our forum. So check out the video from yesterday's LukeUncensored.com broadcast to understand the latest details of this very funny giveaway that one lucky member will be getting very soon. And hey, with so much big tech social media censorship, with me even having to cross out some of my shirts that are available on thebestpoliticalshirts.com, what did you expect us to do other than build our own platforms? There's a lot of cost associated to this. Your membership pays for those costs and helps us grow as an independent media organization. So if you haven't signed up yet, what are you waiting for? Sign up right now and join the conversation. Now, of course, we are not done here with this particular topic, as there still is a lot of crazy big tech social media news that deserves to be talked about. This, as many in the tech crypto industry are getting richer and more powerful by the day, and also exempt from any legal liability if, of course, they pay off the right politicians. Meanwhile, if you, of course, question politicians and try to make them accountable to the constituents, the people, they, of course, will find different ways to punish you, which I believe is happening right now to Elon Musk, that just within the last 2 months has been the topic of many investigations that have been launched against him by the federal government. As just within the span of the last 8 weeks, the U.S. federal government has announced an investigation into Tesla, Twitter, and Neuralink. As of course, it's pretty clear more than ever that Elon Musk is being targeted, as he is exposing a lot of secrets that the government does not want you to know, especially when it comes to the revolving door of FBI agents that are literally working at big tech companies, censoring information that make the FBI look bad. This, of course, is the latest information we're finding out about Jim Baker, a man connected to James Comey, the Clintons, the man who, of course, played a big role in the Russian collusion scandal and was fired by the FBI in a disgraceful manner after leaking private information about the Trump administration to the corporate media. This man, after being fired by the FBI, was positioned at a very high-level job at Twitter, where he was working with Vijaya Gadde, that was censoring people that were critical of the FBI and, of course, the federal government. Gee, what a coincidence there. Greg Price called this individual the Forrest Gump of the swamp, an individual that Elon Musk didn't even know was a part of his organization that was vetting the documents that Elon Musk wanted to give to, of course, Bari Weiss and Matt Taibbi. When Bari Weiss and Matt Taibbi were denied critical documents for their reporting, they were asking why. The person deciding that they couldn't see critical documents that were critical of the FBI was this former FBI agent, James Baker. Coincidence? I don't think so, as well as, of course, there's a revolving door when it comes to the intelligence agencies, the government, and the corporations that they are allegedly keeping a close eye on. And again, this story just highlights the insanity of what it's like working at Twitter, where, again, a lot of employees were fired, but not this guy, and Elon Musk didn't even know that this guy was a part of his company calling the shots and denying the information that was supposed to be going to journalists. And again, collusion is one word that I think of here, but it's not just the federal government that, of course, Elon Musk is having problems with. It's also the San Francisco building inspector that is launching another investigation into him and Twitter, because he converted some office spaces into sleeping quarters for employees. Now, of course, they routinely have these types of things in places like Japan and many other industrial cities all around the world, where employees could take a nap, where employees don't always have to travel, especially if they're on a deadline, especially if they're working on a big project. But that's a big no-no in San Francisco, where Elon Musk points out there's literal toddlers dying of fentanyl overdoses that were on San Francisco playgrounds. Yes, that's one of the horror stories coming from San Francisco, where the government there looks like it is more keen on launching investigations into beds at Twitter rather than, of course, the open-air drug dens that it incentivizes and promotes with its policies. Again, this story is heartbreaking, and one of the stories that Elon Musk has pointed to about some of the priorities of one of America's biggest city, prompting a lot of people to recommending other places and states for him to move to that would be, of course, more friendly and not as aggressive towards him and the larger challenging of this ideology that is against free speech and wants to punish anyone daring to promote it or advocate for it like Elon Musk is. And again, with these investigations, with these infiltration efforts, where again, many powerful people, including even Fauci's daughter, are working at Twitter, I think it's fair that there's definitely a very big bias against Elon Musk. And the people who are biased are using their institutional power in order to go after Elon to stop him from daring to, of course, try to protect free speech. Since, of course, obviously free speech is a threat against their monopoly of control and their control of information, which they desperately need, so people keep going along with their lies that they do not want exposed. Again, Elon Musk took a lot of risk here. His fortune fell from $300 billion to now what is estimated to be $185 billion. A loss that, of course, is pretty significant. And as Elon Musk has the government watching his every move, investigating almost every single entity he has, other than, of course, the Boring Company, we have to note that there's other billionaires doing a lot of very horrible, seedy, secretive, nasty stuff who believe that there's too many people in this world that are completely going about unscathed, unbothered, uninvestigated by the powers that be. Again, what's happening with Elon Musk is very telling. He soon is going to be releasing the Twitter Files 2.0, which we're going to be keeping a very close eye on. And we can only imagine how crazy things will get behind the scenes as, of course, the filters, the censors, the federal government that was within Twitter is slowly and surely being ripped away from its grips of control. What is this going to mean? Well, time will only tell. For me, I'm definitely going to be using Twitter a lot more than I usually have been. At Luke We Are Change is where you could find me. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys actively watching and sharing these videos, especially all the way up until the end. And this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org. One more video available for you right now on lukeuncensored.com. See you there.